Behind the grandeur of the Ottoman palaces lay a hidden world of desire, control, and fear. The harem was not just a place of beauty, but also of secrets that could horrify modern minds. Let us step inside history to discover the most horrifying S3x practices of the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire, spanning from the 14th to the early 20th century, stood as one of the greatest empires in history. Its sultans commanded vast armies, ruled diverse peoples, and built monumental architecture that still amazes us today. But behind the shining domes of Istanbul's Topkapi Palace, another story unfolded. One hidden in the shadows of silk curtains and guarded gates, the story of the imperial harem. The harem was a place of fascination, filled with hundreds of women, concubines, wives, and servants, all living under the watchful eye of the sultan. To outsiders, it seemed like a paradise of beauty and pleasure. Yet, in truth, it was a prison cloaked in luxury, where survival often depended on manipulation, alliances, and sometimes cruelty. The power of the harem. Within the harem, women could rise to extraordinary power. The mother of the sultan, known as the Valide Sultan, often wielded influence that rivaled top officials. However, for most concubines, life was far from glamorous. Many were brought into the empire through the slave trade, separated from their families, and forced into a life they had not chosen. Here lies the beginning of what we might call the most horrifying S3x practices of the Ottoman Empire. These women were trained not only in etiquette, dance, and music, but also in how to please the sultan. Their bodies became part of imperial politics, a currency used to secure loyalty and produce heirs. Eunuchs and control. The harem was guarded by eunuchs, men castrated at a young age to ensure loyalty and prevent sexual relations with the women. The practice of castration was itself brutal and life-threatening. Yet, these eunuchs became powerful figures, gatekeepers of secrets, and intermediaries between the harem and the outside world. The very existence of eunuchs reflects the empire's obsession with control over sexuality. Beauty and danger. One of the horrifying realities was that beauty often determined survival. Women who failed to attract the sultan's interest could be discarded or sent away. Competition was fierce, and jealousy often led to betrayal. There are chilling tales of concubines poisoned, strangled, or mysteriously disappearing when they became threats to another woman's influence. The politics of desire. The harem was not just about pleasure, it was about politics. Producing a male heir meant security for a concubine, while failing to do so could end her influence abruptly. Sultans sometimes fathered dozens of children, creating rivalries among brothers. In the cruel logic of empire, these rivalries often ended in bloodshed. Fratricide was a common practice, where brothers were executed to secure the throne. Behind these violent successions lay the hidden truth that desire and sex were inseparable from power and death. Rituals and restrictions. Some historians suggest that certain rituals within the harem were designed to ensure loyalty and obedience. Women were taught that their bodies belonged to the sultan alone. The sheer isolation was terrifying. Once inside the harem, escape was nearly impossible. Imagine being a young girl, torn from your homeland, trained to serve a ruler you might never even meet. This was the silent horror lived by many. The shadows of history. Today, popular culture often romanticizes the harem as a place of exotic beauty, filled with jewels, music, and silk. But the reality was far darker. For many women, it was a gilded cage where their fates were dictated by forces beyond their control. The stories of jealousy, betrayal, manipulation, and survival remind us why historians still refer to the most horrifying S3x practices of the Ottoman Empire with fascination and dread. The Ottoman system reveals how sexuality, politics, and power were woven together. It was not just about indulgence. It was about control, fear, and survival. History is not always glorious. Sometimes it hides shadows that are as gripping as they are terrifying. If you found this journey into the most horrifying S3x practices of the Ottoman Empire eye-opening, make sure to follow our channel for more untold stories from the past.